Oh, I forgot. Can I open it from here? Damn it, can't remember what it's under. Hold on. Got my heckin' Beto tube. There you are. Alright. Alright, I just started working on the core shadows. Instant hydration check. Looks like I'm checking a message. Oh, dang it. Probably should check this. Hmm. Welcome. Hydration check. On a straight line. Oh no. Yeah, try to avoid eye strain when you can. Like, do that thing where you, what is it? Look at something around 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. I should also probably look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. 20 feet's like kind of a distance, huh? Is my room even that big? Trying to focus on my Halloween Miku figure who is in the other corner of the room. I think the shading around the face I accidentally made it like too much. Nice. Oh, right, okay. So I accidentally put part of the face shading on the flats layer. That's a good idea. Stretch your leggies. Good idea for me too, because one of my leggies is falling asleep. Ow. Okay. Relax your shoulders, check. You're accidentally scrunching your shoulders up or clenching your jaw or something. Chill out a little bit. I won't give yourself neck pain by accident. Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. Trying to come up with some sort of like abstract background for this. Mm. I keep forgetting that your comic canon Thrashers is based extremely loosely, you know, considering the name, on Castle Crashers. Damn it, I accidentally put that on there. I feel like I should definitely put something in the background, because otherwise it's just gonna be like too bright white. And the character has so many light colors, it's just gonna be no contrast. I kinda like it when there's like a shape that they're floating in front of. Hmm. 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 That's a cool idea. Feels very forest. Hmm. Hmm. It's a pretty meta series. It could just be like, oh, There's an invisible barrier here. Like, really? You can't just... No, just gotta go around it. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. It's like, I tried flying. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. This is very funny that there's an invisible barrier that keeps people from just falling off the planet. I was thinking like circuit board green, but... Hmm. I like the sound of the silly bear tribe. Personally, I like yellow as a contrast. Mm. Ow, ow, ow. Mm. Wib. Mm. Ah, of course, nothing can go according to plan. Mm. Because of his smell. Oh no. Mm. Oh my god, the fucking catfish. I remember preparing for that boss battle. Seed. Synchronized delicately enhanced daisies. Hmm. Hmm. Wah, wah. Badumch. Mm. In Minecraft, you can use a world seed to generate a specific world. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but that's something I know seed from in regards to video games. Hmm, that's cool. locusts. Just brute forces his way through. These random circuit board designs make absolutely no sense, and I know this. I know, I'm aware. Just in case anyone sees this and like, this circuit board doesn't make sense. I'm like, I know. It's just supposed to be the vague idea of circuit board. Okay, so he is the tankiest, most useful one, but he's terrible at prioritization. Of course, the most useful guy only shows up after he's needed. I just have this on for myself. Anyone wants to listen to rhythm game music, I can turn on the desktop audio. Does it actually work though? Like, it'd be kind of hilarious if like someone's with him and they're like, "Oh my god, man, come on, just take the upgrades. They'll make everything so much easier." He's like, "No, surely there'll be something at the end that'll make my sacrifices worth it." And they're like, "Oh my god." And then at the end, it's actually, he gets like the most amazing upgrade of all time. That is heckin' late. Aw, the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. Aw. Cool. Finally returned to his comrades, and we're like, "Where the fuck were you, dude?" Where were you when we fucking needed you? like here, and then I'll just sort of start. Turning this into a little rectangle, then I'm just gonna I'm gonna make like a little rectangle here, and then I'm gonna copy paste it and like rotate it and stuff and put it all over this back part. Just gonna see how that looks. Oh yeah, one time I carried like a disembodied torso around because I wanted some loot in it, and it was taking a while, but I was moving very slightly faster than if I was over encumbered. And then the torso despawned. Nice. Nice. Hmm. Prioritize the classes you gotta or want to. Like avoid the classes that stress you out. As long as you're able to weasel around stuff and like get a grade anyway. So like my entire junior or senior year, I barely went to geometry, but I still passed. I think the teacher just kind of understood that it wasn't gonna help to like make me make up credits or something. Because like I got my work done, most of my work when I picked it up. I made extra credits. I just like barely went to class. I just couldn't stand being in there. I don't know if kids still do this or if like they finally like officially banned all chewing gum from classes everywhere, but like kids were allowed to have chewing gum if the teacher allowed it in my high school. But one thing that I wish they enforced more was like don't be so fucking gross with it, because there were kids, I don't know what was up with it. It was like a trend at the time or something that I didn't understand. But guys in particular would chew their gum as loudly and disgustingly as they possibly could, just like really slapping around with their tongues, like using extra saliva, just making the loudest, wettest smacking noises with their mouths while chewing the gum. And there were two kids in that geometry class who were always doing it, and the teacher like wouldn't say anything about it. Also, I got a lot more work done skipping that class and working on my homework and independent study, so. Mm. Like, I don't know how anyone could not breathe that badly. Like, it seemed to be intentional. Like, it was a thing that multiple people did just for like a few years in my high school. I don't know what was up. that they would just chew gum extremely loudly. It was like different kids in different classes. Like, I already hate mouth noises, but I know that some people just, like, can't breathe right. Like, they were born wrong or something, and they don't know how to breathe through their nose when chewing. Which, to me, sounds like absolute hell, so I try not to be mean to those people, even though they're making the grossest sounds on earth. Because, like, yeah, they never learned how to breathe properly. They don't know how, or maybe just something's wrong with them. I don't know. Shouldn't be mean to people just because they got health issues. But, like, I swear, these fuckers, it was intentional. Swollen? Yeah, so you got some kind of health problem. Yeah, I mean, like, loud, loud. Like, I mean, like, fucking egregious. Not like someone, actually trying to be quiet about it. And, like, I mean, like, it was sounded intentional. And it was, like, I swear it was some sort of trend that, like, several of the dudes were in on. It was always the most douchebaggy guys, too. Powder chlorine? Did you, like, break your nose in the past or something? Sounds like it sucks to have that problem. My like misophonia with mouth noise is pretty bad. I try to be polite about it and stuff, but like I can't stand it when I do it because my nose is clogged up. So I will hold my breath while chewing things if I have a cold. Mm. Yeah, it can be kind of annoying if people just like. I remember like back in school, someone was talking about someone they had a crush on, and I was like, just go fucking ask him out or something. Hmm. Oh yeah, they keep like changing the subject, like, oh, so and so is so dreamy. Huh, weird. That sucks. Oh, maybe it's pretty good actually. I don't know, it depends. There are a lot of really nice smells, like petrichor, that the technical smell of rain, which is when the moisture in the air makes it so you can smell all the dirt and grass and wood, and it just smells good. But there's a lot of things that smell really bad, like when someone is wearing perfume that is way too strong, or like when some hippies got patchouli on in the fucking grocery store, or when you go into the store and there's like a really strong cleaning chemical smell or something. So I think it's maybe good that there are things you cannot smell. Weird that I keep forgetting that like ears, noses, and mouths are like all connected. It's like, yeah, huh? That's like all together. Oh no. Well, just make sure you do your laundry more often, and that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember to change sheets because I don't have to do it that often. I wash pajamas pretty often because I spend most of my time at home, so I like wear pajamas a lot, so I just like wash them pretty often, but with sheets it's like I gotta remember to do it. Gotta get all the cat hair out of them somehow. Mm. Eh. And yeah, it sucks when you're like you're friends with like both parties and they're like, "Oh, I have a huge crush on so and so," and it's like we all know each other. Just fucking ask them out if it's bothering you that much. Well, let me adjust my stuff. I'm gonna close these for now. I probably should have saved that one. Mm. Oh, my feet are cold. Take a second to put my hand under the laptop so I can sap the heat out of it. Mm. Oh, okay, that's what you meant by stuff you learned. Mm. A really old ratio here. Thingies. Mm. Oh yeah, and they try to force feed him donuts, and he just keeps going more. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot to turn the desktop audio on. Hold
That wasn't so bad. Huh?
on.
So you like donuts, eh?
Uh-huh.
Well, have all the donuts in the world!
Man, you know some people developed a fetish from this.
More.
Specifically
I
feeder
once
fetish.
heard it. James Coco went mad in 15 minutes.
It's like, yeah, this freak is he just keeps going. I had another stupid idea. Okay, so there's a final amazing upgrade that finally appears, and it's just called like the friends we made along the way, or the power of friendship, like that, something like that, and it's just a gun, which is like a really powerful weapon, or like a flaming sword or something like that, but it's called the power of friendship, or it is imbued with the power of friendship, and it can make you befriend things. Like you shoot it at someone, and they don't want to fight you anymore because you're friends now. That's just an idea for like anything. That'd be a fun like mini comic with like random characters. There it is. Alright, I put it on a different layer. Okay, I'm just gonna merge that. Yeah, because it's like you're all teenagers, but if someone's a senior, they're gonna be leaving soon. So it's like either be prepared to cut that off, especially if they're like already 18, because no matter what your heart says, there's like legal stuff. And also, they're gonna be leaving soon, and it's just kind of creepy for anyone out of high school to be dating someone in high school. It's just like, move on. Don't you got other stuff to do? Primarily just because it's like, what are you gonna wait outside the school for your date to get out? Like, it's like I simultaneously don't like this weird new idea that the moment you're 18, you are an adult, TM, and you suddenly have all the life experience and maturity and emotional and mental maturity to be an adult, and also you become a sexual predator. But also, it's just like, what do you want to be picking up your date at school? That's lame. Like, move on. Like, you can of course still stay in contact with friends and stuff like that. Like, you don't just stop having friends who are different ages, but like, mm, yeah, if it stays within their grade, not that's too much. Yeah, if it's like, especially because if it's within their grade, then one of them's not gonna like leave high school and leave the other one hanging. Also, teenagers, like, you're teenagers. It's kind of rare for high school sweethearts to like end up being a thing forever. Like, let them either drift apart or break up or decide to see other people naturally instead of having it be like one of them has to leave for college or whatever. Ultimate Hammer. Freaking amazing weapon, but it doesn't fit her aesthetic. Yeah, that makes sense. I have no idea people back in my high school, like, kept to that or anything, but also I've never really understood dating stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like if you're a teenager and you're gonna be like leaving high school soon, you kind of gotta like move on, you know? It's like, I know that sometimes kids have crushes on older people, but it's kind of up to the older people to, you know, especially be responsible and be like, yeah, nah, you're too young for me. You're a kid, and that's weird. Yeah, college doesn't matter too much as long as they're like not still dating high schoolers. That's honestly just like, again, you can fucking wait till 3 p.m., pick your date up from school, and drop them off at their job at the fucking Starbucks. Like, what you doing there? Yeah, if the guy's not into dating anyone, then it's gotta suck if you know people are crushing on him, because you gotta be like, okay, maybe don't ask him out. And give him a break. Hmm. Yeah, if someone's like too old and they're looking for someone who's too young, it's like, he was the rebound. So like I'm guessing like the person didn't really care about him. They just wanted to not feel alone or whatever. I don't get how some people are. Like, there's nothing wrong with being single. Especially societal concept, freaking allonormativity or whatever, that you have to be in a romantic relationship is like, it's not, it ain't healthy. It ain't healthy for anyone. Like, no one should try to force themselves into a romantic relationship just because they feel like they have to be in one. And they shouldn't use someone as like a temporary, like, make me feel better kind of thing, you know? On good terms, that's good. I'm glad it wasn't just someone like actually just using him. I've seen that happen with some people. It's like, oh, what is wrong with you? It is okay to not be dating anyone. Yeah, I hope you got to be like friends at least with your coworker. Mm. Aw. Yeah, if it's outside your comfort zone, it's outside your comfort zone. She what? She what, dude? Oh my god. Like, that chick's got problems. Being alone is not a bad thing. Being single is not necessarily being alone, even. Add a little bit more to that. I'm kind of just having fun drawing shapes. Coming up with little shapes. Cool. I'll check out Anthology of the Killer when I can. Was that one of the ones that was gifted to me? I tried to look up a list of what games were gifted to me on like Christmas and New Year's. I couldn't find it on Steam. Huh. That's a good friend. Probably knew it would be like really awkward. Even if it was like good terms or whatever. Yes, thank you. I gotta check out Anthology of the Killer. Maybe that's the next game I'll play.
I mean, hey.
Good morning, Father dear.
I'm gonna keep
Hope you're
playing
well.
Among
I was taking
Trees
you like
off
some Aunt Betty
stream
and
because I
Sonny's
like it and I want to check it out,
Fabulous
but it
house,
lags
well-behaved
too hard,
kids,
so I'll
Mr.
probably start
Smart Guy,
Anthology of the
luxury
Killer
sedan.
next.
Woohoo! I hit the jackpot! Marge, dear, would you kindly pass me a donut?
Donut? What's a donut? It's raining again.
Oh no! Homer, go back! Aw. Yeah, that would also be kind of shady of his friend, so... Also, that girl needs to, like, calm down instead of constantly trying to get with people. Oh, yeah, I finally watched the video about Only Jayus chick, and she was just some annoying person on the internet who plagiarized stuff and was really annoying and was being fake, and people got mad about it. That's the whole thing. think that's like one of those wires that's like specially shaped. One of those like flat ones. Try to add extra shapes to here before I start copying it, so I can have them going in all different directions. Yeah. Dang. That's something about save your progress check.
An evil maniac's gotta do what an evil maniac's gotta do.
Oh no, Crash, come back.
Aww. I guess he enjoyed their relationship and like being close with her, because seems pretty beat up about it. It's sad. I really don't get breakups. Like, I know it's sad when people formally decide that they can't be like a certain level of close with each other anymore. And it's good they still talk to each other and stuff, but like, I don't know, it's just so weird. Especially when some people act like they can never talk to each other again. Like, first of all, you let it get that bad, and then you're gonna freak out about it. Like, come on. Let it get so bad where you can't even talk to each other. But also, like, I don't know. You're really close to someone for a while, and then you just decide that you can't know them anymore? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it seems kind of obvious that he's not over her, but like... But it's also like, I'm still sad about friends I haven't heard from in a long time. Or who suddenly got weird and suddenly really didn't like me out of nowhere. Or like, maybe they always didn't really like me and just didn't say it for a long time. I'm still sad about not knowing people I used to know. That's kind of normal for everyone. And it seems like he takes his personal relationships very seriously, which is good.
Yo, chicken nuggets be crispy like you never seen.
Crispy like you've never seen. Now I can pour myself some tea from a little teapot. I forgot about my tea for a little bit, and now it's probably ice cold. I was like, oh, I'll put it in my iron teapot so it can stay warm, and then... whoops. like, I've never had a romantic breakup, but I'm still sad about, like, my one friend who went on a trip to Europe with some family, and when she came back, she was just, like, just really snippy and, like, frustrated feeling and rude and, like, snapping at me all the time, and I was like, are you okay? Apparently it's a somewhat common thing, at least from the few people I've talked to, so it's possibly a coincidence, but I have like 2 other friends who had friends go to Europe, and then when they came back, they were just like really mean for no reason. No idea. Mm. Aw. Mm. Oh no. Yeah, I have an old friend who I'm kind of worried about. I haven't heard from him for a while, but it seemed like he was getting more into like right-wing stuff. I'm like, because like back in high school we'd been like kind of a punk, so I thought there was hope for him after getting out of the military, but I don't know. I just hope he's okay. He was always kind of depressed. Okay, so KP and Evan's twin were friends, but when he got a crush on him, hmm. Aw, that sucks. Pretty sure I've had friends who had crushes on me, but then they realized it was never gonna happen. But like, we still would just hang out. I don't know. And occasionally people would. I'm pretty sure, like, I realized at some point that they realized it wasn't gonna happen, and that's all they were interested in. They just didn't hang out anymore. And I'm like, well, fuck you too. I don't understand it. Well, I kind of understand the societal implications. Like, I really hate it when people act like romance is the most important thing. Because it's really not. Should value friends too. Aw. I hope he's keeping those around for, I don't know, practical purposes. Like if someone tries to say that he said something or something, I don't know. And not like beating himself up purposes, like, oh, I should have said something different. Mm. Okay, I should probably stop drawing lines at some point. I'm just having fun drawing all these lines. Little shapes and stuff. Okay, what's this again? Oh, right, the circles. Now I'm gonna just kinda move these around. But this isn't you. Like, that's pretty cringe. Like, don't do that. It's like, if someone's not interested in, like, dating you, you just gotta fucking accept it. Suck it up. Deal with it. Mm-mm. Mm. Even if they're the same, whatever. Mm. No problem. Like, I got the video window open. Be doing this very tedious bit for a little bit.
Homer, bring that back in the house.
Fine. Ooh, a dancing Jesus! If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
You've committed a crime and you want to confess, click yes. Otherwise, click no. You have chosen no, meaning you've committed a crime but don't want to confess.
Mm-mm.
The paddy wagon is now speeding to your home.
Hey!
While you wait, why not buy a police cap or t-shirt? You have the right to remain fabulous.
Here it is, everybody! The world's greatest website.
It's pretty great. I think you did a great job.
Annoying, but they're not.
I got suspended from school today.
No kidding.
Hmm. I have no idea. Maybe you'll end up with whatever I have, where people just tell me things. They'll just, like, tell me stuff. I'm like, okay. Like, generally I listen and try not to judge people or give any advice or anything. I'll just be like, okay, yeah, and then I'll just sort of say what I think about it. It's kind of listen actively and be like, yeah, I'm listening, I hear you, bud. And, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but people will just tell me stuff. I also don't gossip. Like, if I'm gonna tell people about anyone else's business, I will not tell them anything too specific, and I'll only use it as, like, a oh, I don't understand, but I have a friend who went through something similar, so you're not alone in having this problem, or whatever, you know? I don't know. Some people just like to be listened to make sense. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Jessica's Exposition Corner. Air horn noises. I think I might just, like, put a little bit of the stuff here, and then I can just, like, put some random circuity stuff in the other smaller places. Like, I could put that there, and then erase some of it so it fits better. Now I'll just, like, draw some random circuity stuff in there to fill out the space. That could be fun. Would it be like, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right thing, but where it's like in Dungeon Meshi, I don't know, wait, fuck, I don't know if you've, like, caught up on the manga or anything, or if you're even reading that. But it'd be like, meanwhile, Quixote's party was doing this. And it would just be like a silly little gag where he's just doing something dumb. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what was happening at the same time as this. He's getting up to some nonsense. Oh yeah, you're always, like, real respectful. You're always just, like, changing names and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure no one here is going to look up to random Canadian teenagers, because that would be fucking creepy, but it's still good to change names and be vague about people. It's just, like, respectful, you know? Because sometimes, like, especially if you're the type of person who everyone just fucking tells things to, it can help to, like, uh, it's, I don't have words, I just have a visual, hold on, it's like, like, you got people, sort of pouring stuff into your head, and if it has nowhere to go, it's like too much stuff. So sometimes you just kinda gotta spread it out by talking about it or thinking about it and stuff like that. To other people, even if it's just, like, through art or something, it's sort of like, maybe that's how therapy works. People have too much stuff in their brain, so they gotta, like, let it out by talking. I'm not very good at words. Oh yeah, like the parts where it showed what Kabru was up to or what Shuro was up to and stuff like that, and then it would cut away to Laios' party and they were like uh and they were still dealing with the effects of the changelings and stuff like that. Where am I going? Evan is such a common name, and I'm in my head. The kid's last name is Essence. I don't know what he looks like besides maybe like that the edit you did of Amy Lee's face, and it mostly just still looks like if Amy Lee was like 15 or something. And like, ah, yes, these are the characters who, for all I know, might be completely fictional, that one of the little people inside my computer tells me about on occasion. Eh. Hmm. Hmm. Mrs. Sensei is like a teacher, so you could maybe present it as I'm just coming up with ideas. You do not have to use any of them. I'm just using my brainstorm thing. Um, like it could be like, okay, kids, today's history lesson, and is like pulls up the TV on the tall stand with the wheels, and everyone's like, "Oh boy, we get to watch a movie," and someone's like, "Oh boy, I get to fall asleep." And then it tells like her story or something. Yeah, Barbara Ursula Stepkowski crossed a line in being a huge bitch. And so she does not get the same respect because she does not give respect. I don't give a fuck if she's an elder. You respect people who respect you. Aha. Okay, yeah, just setting up like the characters' backstories and stuff like that. That makes sense. I'm gonna run to the restroom in a minute. Let me save my progress. Save your progress check, everybody. Oh. So maybe do a hydrate and ow. Maybe make sure your legs aren't falling asleep and do that more often than I do. Drop my phone. Maybe do some stretchies and adjust your posture. Maybe get up and do just like a full, like ow, ow, ow. Touch your toes or something. Do some shoulder stretches. Oh. Okay. Burp. Okay. Put my gloves back on. Maybe tonight I'll go to bed before 2 a.m. or something. I'm just so tired. And also chilly. When I get cold, I get, like, tireder than usual. So, like, pretty fucking fatigued. Let's see what I missed on. Yeah, she's an adult who's already been in some productions and apparently doesn't even have her, like, face online, so I'm not gonna go looking her up, because I don't super care about what she's been in. Do think she should be complained about, though. Yeah, I'm glad you're taking internet privacy seriously, because, like, I've seen some kids who, like, will just, they're, like, not safe enough online. Back when I was a kid in the 90s, it was, like, you don't even tell your friends your real first name. Like, you have to be real tight with someone. I'm doing that thing where you cross your fingers, like, real tight around each other. You have to be, like, real tight with someone to tell them even, like, your first name. Like, you called each other by usernames. You never knew what you looked like. You didn't even mention where you lived most of the time. Like, that was just how it was. Mm. Mm. Aha. So she's got to reason through it like a detective. That could be cool, doing like a little musical interlude. Maybe he could be singing, you can come up with some rhymes. Or if it doesn't rhyme, someone could be like, hey, your song doesn't rhyme, and he's like, you know nothing about my art. Use their full names? That's so weirdly formal. Mm-hmm. That sounds fun. I mean, the sheer amount of canon thrashing going on, it's pretty much an original story already, very, very vaguely tied to Castle Crashers, in, like, the slightest sense. You'll be fine. Oh, good. I hope the bringing your mom along to the meeting goes well.
Hey, there's something you don't see in a toilet every day.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody lose their glasses? Last chance. Woohoo! The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot! Don't! Thank you so much for visiting our plant.
Oh my god, The Simpsons,
Well, I'll let you know if your glasses
predicted the Fallout games.
I'm sure I left them in the car.
You can put on a pair of glasses that you fished out of a toilet and it'll raise your intelligence.
The Paris Pizza God.
I mean, online I've been going by Nardachi, which is my last name.
I've lived through 12 recessions, 8 panics, and 5 years of McKinleynomics. I'll survive this.
Well, even so, sir, we could stand to lay off a few employees.
Whoa, very well. Lay off him.
Vaguely heard something about the official NaNoWriMo drama.
Just because you're 10 feet tall doesn't mean you can tell
I didn't
me
pay
what
too
to
much
do.
attention to it because I'm not a writer, but it sounds like when the people who started Inktober started getting really annoying about it, and as a community we're like, no, fuck you. You're not gonna damn copywriting Inktober, are you kidding me? But like a lot of people still use Inktober because it's just like a fun tradition. Like it belongs to the internet now. Alright, to fill in a few spaces. Oh heck, it's like colliding with another one, huh? Nah, whatever. Yeah, I'll figure out where I'll be streaming from and where I'll be checking in from, and then be happy to do another voice party with y'all. Okay, and for these random chunky bits, I'm just gonna like draw some heckin' some more shapes. I kind of like drawing the shapes. It is kind of relaxing to just draw the shapes. A good time drawing shapes. You know what? I'm gonna put this on in the background. That looks cute.
This is Samson, my giant African bullfrog. He likes to relax in water, dig in the dirt, eat anything that moves, and more recently, act like a total menace, forcing me to make a completely new and much larger 6-foot paludarium, which is almost as long as I am tall because the other could no longer contain him, and that's not because he outgrew it. Now when I say he's large, it's not hyperbole. He's literally a giant among frogs,
A big
and
ass
will likely
frog.
grow to around 10 inches long. He's currently 8 inches from here to rear, weighing in at a whopping 33 ounces. But don't let his rotund appearance fool you, he's built different. ABFs are just as agile as any other species and made for battle. In the wild, the large males clash for breeding rights, and the competition is fierce. In other words, they're as indestructible as a frog could possibly be, which is precisely why Samson simultaneously created a major problem and survived a potentially life-threatening scenario. Allow me to explain. Last year I remade his entire home because the aquarium leaked. The revision looked great and included features I thought would improve his quality of life, including a dripping branch overhang to support plants and provide refuge within the water feature. However, this ended up being a terrible decision. What was intended to, and initially appeared to be a place of tranquility, must have become an annoyance. He decided to exit the building. I was disturbed to find him sitting on the floor one day, but thankfully he wasn't injured from such a fall. This all happened shortly after the build. I dampened the drips and added clamps to prevent it from happening again, and everything seemed fine until recently when I did a water change. I must not have properly dialed the drips, and apparently the clamps couldn't contain him this whole time because I found him on the floor once again. Luckily he's been calm since, but I can't take any more chances because next time he might not be so lucky. There won't be a next time though.
Drawing shapes is great. I recommend just drawing a bunch of shapes.
For a completely different reason. He's almost too big to fit through this gap, which isn't ideal for him or me. The solution was simple: create a front opening enclosure to eliminate this issue for good. Luckily, it had already been in the works for months, but his recent antics motivated me to finish it sooner than later. From the start, my plan was to make something within the same footprint as a standard 125-gallon long aquarium. He currently lives in a 75-gallon, which is actually the same width. He moves in this space well, but I knew that having extra length and height would allow for better versions of the features he already enjoys. Well, all the features except for the drip overhang and a removable lid. Naturally, they don't make tanks like this, so I took matters into my own hands and built one myself. I got 1/2 inch thick glass rough cut at a local glazer, and had to do some prep work before assembling the pieces. It's rare that I add frames to these custom tanks, but I felt it was best for this one because of how he broke through the lid. I'd have to add screens again, and with the front opening system, I could just attach them directly to the frame. Having tamper-proof filtration with these large frogs is a must, so I always drill for bulkheads to avoid any mischief. I wouldn't add the glass tracks or lid till much later. With the canvas set, my goal now is to create a landscape reminiscent of the African bullfrog's native range in southern Africa. When they're not hibernating in the dry season, they often reside near ephemeral water holes similar to this. With this in mind, I'd say his previous setups were designed well around his needs, but they were far from an accurate representation of where he'd actually live. Part of that, and what I've done before, is provide a land area large enough for burrowing. With this new footprint, I had the opportunity to make features like that much larger. To make it, I'd need some glass, and where better to obtain it than a retired paludarium. Salvaging materials like this is more work, but it helps keep costs down and is a great way to repurpose things. However, just getting glass wasn't enough. The front was already the right size, so I used it as a guide to adjust the height of the others. When recombined later, these panes will create a land area of roughly 12 gallons. Before that, I had work to do on the background, which will utilize new techniques. That said, it began like many others. I used the tank's measurements to cut down sheets of XPS foam for a base layer. Of course, I also accounted for the bulkheads. Creating side panels is more work, but they help these projects appear far more immersive, so I had to do that here. The foam didn't require much silicone either. A few dabs were more than enough to lock them in. Adding the land feature was simple too. I adhered bumpers to the edges and assembled it like any other aquarium. The silicone had to cure before I could do a water test. I've had issues with Sam's land area leaking in the past, so this was an essential step. Catching leaks early is always best, and luckily that wasn't an issue here. The background required more structure before I could continue, and the beauty of this technique is that it can be made largely with scraps, which I always keep. Creating a gradual transition into the land area would help facilitate the appearance of a watering hole and make the setup functional for Sam. Simply making the rough shape of stairs would be sufficient for this particular setup, with no additional carving necessary. All of these had to be secured to the glass and each other as well. Although Sam hated the dripping feature, he does appreciate a good overhang. I built up more foam to provide one. After all, this is something that would naturally exist at a watering hole, and the plan was to make it look similar to this. I could have continued building the structure with foam scraps, but I knew expanding foam would speed up the process, and it did. I will admit that I got a little overzealous with it and had to carve off some excess. This rough-looking foundation is exactly that, a foundation. It serves no aesthetic function, and is there simply to fill void space so the enclosure remains as light as possible. Taping over the frame and bulkheads is an easy way to preserve features that must remain unaltered. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely tired of carving foam, and I realize I just used it, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm referring to pretty much every way that I've used it in the past. For being honest, it's a very wasteful process, and the results end up being lackluster. You spend hours carving something which looks great, until you add grout, paint, or some combination of the two. The details end up getting muddied, resulting in an artificial look. I've been using techniques like these for decades, and although they've served me well till now, I'd like to largely retire them moving forward. I was really inspired about a year ago whenever I was watching Reels, and I saw some random guy carving a faux rock panel. It wasn't for animals, but I knew it was a potential solution to the foaming process I've become disenfranchised with. Since then, I've been doing research and experimenting in my spare time with grouts, concretes, and other materials to find an ideal solution. The primary issue with concrete is its weight. As you can imagine, it's quite heavy, and whenever you're making a giant background in these big setups, some of which I haven't shown you yet, it's going to get really heavy, and so it's not going to fly if we're just using standard concrete. Now there are ways to make it lighter, which I explored, but none of those solutions seemed viable. As I explored my options and did research, I came across this incredible product, the Buddy Rhodes Vertical Concrete Mix. This is literally what is being used to create large zoo displays both in and around enclosures. It's non-toxic, eco-friendly, lightweight, strong, carvable, and fairly inexpensive. I'll give a full cost breakdown later on, but as you can imagine, whenever I discovered this, I was extremely excited. For it to work as intended, it must be mixed with ramp primer and water. I measured each and combined them in a bucket. This concrete is also easy to color with pigments, and since I'm attempting to replicate dirt, a light brown seemed like the obvious choice. I mixed this into the liquids before blending in the concrete. For proper adhesion to the foam, a mix of 50-50 ramp and water had to be sprayed on. Once tacky, I simply slapped the concrete in place. It honestly was a lot of fun, and took me back to playing with mud when I was young. Anyway, as I covered the foam and built the structure, I considered the environment I wished to recreate and how I'd carve it out to achieve that appearance, knowing that most of this would be removed. I let it firm up for about 15 minutes before carving. It was still wet, but kind of crumbly. Such a consistency made it extremely easy to create the look of a muddy embankment. I gotta say that carving this is way easier than foam, and the texture is pretty believable. However, as with other projects, the finer details pull a lot of weight. I embedded a few small roots and rocks in the overhang, which helped significantly. All of this carving resulted in a lot of scraps, which unlike foam can be reused while they're still wet. I just mixed in some more water, and it was enough to fill the rest of the scape. What little remained I pressed into the roots for added effect. With only one bag, the appearance was strong. However, I felt the right side was a little flat, so I mixed up a second bag to add further definition. I figured driftwood could help with that as well. Once cured, the structure itself was dynamic, but now the color appeared flat. Luckily, concrete glazes can address that, but not in the same way as paint. They'll stain and recolor the surface without removing any detail. Umber accents over the entirety of the sculpture helped it appear warmer. A feature you'll notice with watering holes is that the mud is always darker around the water. I mixed up black and umber and diluted it with water to replicate this. I later scuffed the surface with a wire brush to add highlights. Some cleanup work was required as well, but that's to be expected. I was glad to see the scape come together, but the enclosure wasn't complete. Reaching through the top of Sam's current tank isn't just an issue because of his size. It's also kinda sketchy because of poor access. All I'll say is that I've been bitten by him twice because of it, and it's no fun. While taking a step back to review everything, I couldn't help but feel like something was missing. The branch on the right looked out of place, but I couldn't undo it. I combined it with other pieces to mimic the appearance of a stump in eroding soil. I took as many liberties as possible with the scape, and it turned out well despite not being as detailed as I'd prefer. With Sam, there's a fine line between form and function. Inevitably, the details have to be an afterthought because he has to be able to traverse through the space without destroying it. Anyway, I like to clean these backgrounds before adding the finishing touches, so nothing from construction remains. It seems that the plant these frogs encounter most in the wild is grass, so that's what I wanted for this build. I've tried going bioactive with him before, but it's pointless. Because of his size and habits, it inevitably gets gross and needs to be replaced. Instead, I just use plain old coconut fiber. I want the grass in this area, but they do better with a different substrate. To get around this, I mixed up a different blend and placed them in permeable plant bags. This gave me the best of both worlds. The substrate can be easily replaced with minimal disruption to the plants. I may add more later, but for now, less is more. He needs adequate room to dig and crawl around. Unfortunately, the cocoa fiber and sand kind of exposed the fact that I didn't make the concrete brown enough. I suppose some mistakes should have been expected though, because this was my first time trying this in a full-blown build. Here's a quick breakdown of how much it cost me to make this background, excluding tolls, tax, and shipping. Keep in mind that I made my background largely out of scrap materials. I put the rough cost of foam in here just to get a better calculation. I'll admit that it may not be the cheapest method around, but all things considered with these results, I'd say it's well worth it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I felt this would appear best with tannins in the water. I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, the big man's not looking so big anymore. With the right care, African bullfrogs can live for well over 30 years. So it's very possible I'll still have him by the time my kids go to college, and I don't even have kids yet. In fact, most of the animals you see me work with are pretty long-lived, which is part of the reason why I constantly reiterate their setups, even if it's in response to something unplanned, like a leak or escape. Sometimes there's failure, and I suppose that's life in general. We fail, and our growth is determined by how we react and adapt to such scenarios. I assumed the drip would be a nice tranquil feature he'd enjoy, but my judgment was off and it had a negative effect. I did bandage the situation for a while, but band-aids don't last forever, and he was happy to remind me of that. I'm glad he did. Samson truly looks at home.
Is an object to transform? Okay, I accidentally had it selected.
是编辑在地上一个可爱表情，忐忑的等待手机传来几无的回应，爱神他也会为我加油打气。关于我喜欢你的这道问题，有没有答案可以来参考分析？精心准备了约会秘籍，提前在模拟前做次演习，明天就要来临。纵然在我的想象星球无数风景，只是看过你如飓风，毫无防备卷起漩涡。天际的溪有了波动，一步一步为你坠落。曾经我自在漂流，无目的的走。纵然在这广阔宇宙无数绚烂，只是路过你如泼墨点点渗透进人我眼眸。红梅的戏那么甜中，怎么形容这感受？也许为找到了出口。纵然在我的想象星球无数风景，只是看过你如飓风，毫无防备卷起漩涡。天际的溪有了波动，一步一步为你坠落。曾经我自在漂流，无目的的走。纵然在这广阔宇宙无数绚烂，只是路过你如泼墨点点渗透进人和眼眸。红梅的戏那么甜中，怎么形容这感受？也许为找到了出口。
Oh, not the same one. So there's a couple more spots. Posture check. Ow. Okay. Heck. It's gonna make me take a break. There goes my pen. Go, okay, maybe I can just copy paste some other small bits from around here and put them in the empty spaces. Wrong one. I did the wrong thing again. I have an idea for those now. Hold on, Potato. My feed the cat alarm went off. Something got left open on my phone. I was like, oh, my battery! Let's charge that. Okay, hold on, baby. Let me, fill in all these main parts, and then I'll come back in and manually color in the buttons on top of them. Also, it's my favorite song, Baby Hunt. Well, my favorite song from Muse Dash. Definitely liking how, like, messy it is. Also, I want to be more subtle. Yeah. I don't even know if she wants this as a background. I was just having fun drawing shapes. Kill. Burp. Ah. Okay. flee. Okay, there's just a couple little spots I want to fill in. Where were they? Did I get them all? Oh, guess I got them all. Okay. All right, right. I was doing the these little bits. Damn my shaky hands. I think in order to keep the outline good, I should just like darken the color of the I should just like put a clip layer over that and make it a darker color, darker gray. I don't really know what final color it's going to be at. It just shows gray because it's like subtle. Oh, my fingies are so cold. The pumps and bugs. Oops. Then, went all the way over there. Wait, fuck, wait. Why'd I do that? Okay. Cats, quit it. Quit it. Save progress check. That also looks cool. Ah. Please be okay. It crashed. You alright? Okay. Everything else seems to be alright. Okay, good. Okay, good. It only didn't save like that and the sort of periwinkle background I had going on. Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. Alright. Glad I saved pretty recently. Get that color back. I wonder if I should keep the little parts extra, because I'm like, are they a little visually confusing? I kind of like them, but she might want to go for a more sleek look, so I'll just sort of try to separate those again. Don't know. Okay. Say progress. Hmm. One more sort of idea I want to do with all these. Is, like, what if I... Oh, it's too weird, but... I'll sort of, like, cut it in half. Hmm. I do like that, but it's quite thick enough. Would be cool if I could make it like half circuit board, half brain. Though I don't have to draw a brain. Also, I made a kind of a weird shape for that, so yeah, never mind. Kind of like that though, the sort of half and half thing. What if I could like, like, have it sort of fade out. Whoa. That's kind of cool having it be like different color going down, but it is very noisy. I do kind of like that. Oh. It's kind of cool. Okay, what if I just change the color of the circuit board? Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna like save my progress again. I'm scared about it crashing. Probably because this file is big and I keep making layers. But I send these to my friend. See. Oh fuck. Wait, what if I Oh, right, okay. I keep messing around with this just a little bit. But I should really... Oh. I'll put this on pin light just for the hell of it. No, I should make it like really dark. I should sign off so I can go to bed eventually and stop using up all the bandwidth. Yeah. Alright, yeah, okay. If anyone's still hanging out, do your stretches and postures and hydrates and save your progress and get the good sleepy times. Okay, good night.